Hi, girlies, and welcome to our Tuesday trainings. If you're new here, we do these every single Tuesday. This month, we are going to be popping in between going from Facebook and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you keep up with that. But today, if you are a girl or a woman, that is struggling with IBS and you feel like every single month you are stuck on a new diet train, whether it's like low FODMAP or you're eliminating a different food and you have like the best intentions, but you buy a new book to try something else, but it doesn't stick. If that is you, you're definitely gonna want to stick around for today's session because I'm going to walk you through my foolproof plan of how I and hundreds of other girlies have had symptom relief, success, month after year. Okay, so make sure you keep watching for that. If you are new here, my name is Laura Martin. I am the creator and founder of Healing to Happy, where I help women that are struggling with IBS to gain back control and get back to eating normally using the whole gut-brain connection. And so we're not following like low FODMAPs and restrictions and all that kind of stuff, which we're going to dive in today, but really looking at what is happening at the root so that you're not just chasing symptoms, you're having full-on relief. And if you are a woman that has been struggling with IBS for so long and you feel like you've done everything, make sure you do book in your roadmap call. I have 2 spots available for this spring cohort for those women that have tried it all and are ready to take control of their IBS. So all you have to do is head over to healingtohappy.com/roadmap call. And so, like I said, today we are diving into this whole understanding of how personally I set myself up for success month after month. Because I know when I first started out in gut healing, like the restrictions really led to weekend binges. Whenever there was a party, I would try and just I would go ham. Like I could not keep myself accountable. I didn't have a system or a foundation in place. And every single start of the month, I was like, I'm so ready. Like I had the best intention. I put all these rules. I was meal prepping like a queen. Like I was packing my lunches. I had all this kind of stuff. And then weekends would come and I'm like, no, like I'm not doing this. This isn't for me. And then that mean girl would come creeping in, right? Like as she always does, where it's like, oh, like you're not self-disciplined enough, or maybe if you just eliminated more food, you'd feel better, or like you're weak, or stop going out, like you have to eliminate your social life, like all the things our mean girl says kept coming in and just kind of getting in the way. And so today what we're going to be diving into is my new month reflection process that has changed the game, honestly, for my self-confidence, for my mental well-being, for the way I progress as not only in my health, but in my business as I lead a team of people and as a partner, as a member of community. Like it's changed the game. How I set myself up for success each week without fail. So this means even when I'm traveling, like if you guys have been following along over on Instagram, you saw I'm in the process of moving. So for a while I was checking out the area and I was living out of a hotel in a small corner with my partner. And so how do you stay healthy even when that is happening? Even when like life throws you lemons and you're like, I don't really want lemonade. When kids are a mess, all that kind of stuff. So systems like that. And then I'm going to share with you my 3 non-negotiables that have had the biggest impact. And of course, we're going to wrap things up for how this all plays into the science and the soul of the gut-brain connection so that you can really, really feel amplified. So here's the thing is that when your nutrition, your IBS plan, all that kind of stuff is based around restrictions, you're going to fail, right? Like you will, no matter what new thing is going to happen, like you are not just going to hit a home run out of the park, slam dunk, whatever have you. You're going to fail, right? Like you're going to fail when you don't understand your why. You are going to fail when you try and do everything at once. You are going to fail when you are trying to escape your current being without understanding what is going on or what the root problem is. If you're so quick to just jump on these bandwagons and these fad diets and these eliminations or the quick fixes, right? Like you're going to fail. And you're going to fail if you're always looking outside for the answers instead of taking responsibility and looking within yourself. And I know that's kind of a different approach to usually what my talks are about, but this is a side that's so important. I see so many women coming to me after they've tried everything and I'm not really understanding what's going on. And this is why the first few weeks of me working with clients is getting to the root of your roadblocks and taking responsibility, but not in the sense that, we're not at fault for illnesses. We're not at fault for autoimmunities. We're not at fault for where we live or who our family is or any of that kind of stuff. But we are responsible for how we choose to respond to these moments. And if we keep choosing to respond with restriction, elimination, angst, putting it out there, being like, oh, like it's the weekend's fault that like I can't stick to my nutrition plan, or it's the doctor's fault because they just keep putting me on medications, or it's my family's fault because they keep cooking all the food and and it's like, well, no, because you're responsible for all of those things. You're responsible for how you choose to respond in those moments and how you advocate for your health and how you take responsibility, which is a hard thing to grapple with. Like, we're so quick to just push things away, but when you sit there and you go, no, I own this. Like, I own my health and I take responsibility, and each and every day I choose to show up for my health. That's when you have this massive change. And that's honestly the biggest shift I've had in my life for healing my IBS. And it didn't happen all at once. Like, trust me, like I face planted heavily several times to try and come up with this method taught inside my program. It's called the free method, but I failed tremendously because I still kept looking outwards. I still no, and that's what diet culture, that's what all these IBS culture diet kind of things teach you, is you have to do these tests. You have to, and I'm not to say like all tests are bad, but like, as I said, like last week, like those food sensitivity kits, or like we have to do low FODMAP, or we have to do fasting and elimination and keto and all this kind of stuff. Like, you have to do that, even though your body is screaming at you, being like, ma'am, this is not working. I have no energy. I cannot do it. I'm going to eat myself. And that's why your hair is falling out. It's this whole system. It does not work. And so I'm going to show you guys what my process is like each month so that I have success. It's more lifestyle stuff. Okay. So I do a monthly audit, and it kind of came to me because I do a monthly audit on my business every week, but every month I get together with my team. We look at numbers, we see what's working, what's not. We reflect, we celebrate, and then we move forward. And so that's something I do as well every month so I have this thing, which is called Unravel Your Year 2021. And I've been doing Unravel Your Year. Who's this guy? I've been doing this for, goodness gracious, like, I don't even know how many years. Let's see. What is it by? Susanna Conway. I've been doing this for years, and it's free, so you guys can download it. But you set your intentions for the year, all this kind of stuff. Because what I know and love is that you can have these big, scary, audacious goals, right? Like, you can have these for your work, your life, your health. You can have all this stuff, and you come out with the best intentions, right? Like New Year's Eve, January 1st, you're all out there. You have the best intentions for your health. You bought a Peloton bike. You bought like the new Pagan book, like whatever. And you're just like, all right, I'm in it. And then 6 weeks in, you're like, I'm out. I don't want to do this. Like, I don't have a social life. I'm not into it. And so it doesn't work that way. Like, as our brain functions, we can't just throw everything in at once and expect it to stick. It actually takes 90 days to create a habit. And so when you can actually get the foundations of what makes a habit, and this is kind of going into number 2, but I want to keep with number 1. So holding my thought, but when you can keep with your habits and your intentions and break them down into micro points, that's the biggest thing. And that's where these monthly audits come in. And so you can't expect things to change if you don't know what's going on, right? And, I know for myself, things were just going so fast all the time. Like, there was always someone's birthday, there was always something at work, there was my self stuff, like there was just always something that I didn't ever know what was going on with me, and most importantly, what was working. Like, I was so quick to look at what was going wrong. Like, I was like, oh, kind of gluten, dairy, soy, whatever. Like, I can't have any of that stuff because that's what all the doctors tell me. So quick to reject all that. But I had no idea what was actually working. And this is why in the gut diary, we focus. That's what I use that tool for, is what is working for you, what's giving you energy, what's making you feel alive, what's all that kind of stuff. But the monthly audit helps you really reflect in. And before you start to plan your next month of, okay, I want to do this, I want to walk this much, I want to drink this much water, I want to eat this much fiber, I want to do this at every meal. You sit and you see, oh, like this last month when I went for a walk at lunch, I realized like I didn't binge in the evening because I was actually offloading stress. Or when I actually put my phone away an hour before bed, I slept a lot better. Interesting, cool. That's an intake. Or when I ate a few more carbs, I had more energy. That's awesome. Like, and so you can do this with your health, right? Like you can sit there and be like, this is what was working. It's great. I'm going to add this into next month. I'm going to make sure I do more of this because it's working. And then you can come in and be the student of, okay, so what didn't work? And this isn't to say your inner mean girl comes creeping in and she's like whacking you around and all that kind of stuff, because that does not, like, I can't say it enough, you cannot be at war with your body, your mind, your spirit, and win. It does not work. So when you come in and you're like, okay, cool. Like for me personally, I've been taking my system and my reward to myself for doing things lately has been like, all right, we're going to take a bath, we're going to relax, we're going to like soak in our Epsom salt, we're going to like chill and eat popcorn and like watch Netflix as it sits on the toilet. But I realized I was also on Clubhouse, like speaking on panels, and like, even though to me that was fun, that's still technically work on my end. And so I realized I wasn't sleeping as well. And so in my audit for my month, I was like, yeah, like you're having fun, girlfriend, but we got to cut that out. And I take responsibility for that, but I would have kept doing it. And I was like, why is my sleep bad? Like, why am I so anxious? And I was like getting like testy with my partner and like whatever. And I was like, okay, what is going on? Because these are all symptoms, right? Like, I'm not trying to say like, oh, I should take more melatonin because I'm not sleeping well. It's like, no, I was sleeping well. So what was I doing that was affecting that? Taking responsibility. I was like, okay, cool. Clubhouse late at night, not going to work because I'm way too stimulated. And also like enjoy your bath, get off the phone. And so that's been a big one. And so you can do these in your monthly audits. It has not only just helped myself, but it's helped my relationships. It's helped me as a leader. It's helped me with my clients because I'm able to see what's working, amplify that so it helps my confidence, and then move forward. And the second thing is your health and well-being starts in the morning. So starting with the morning routine, like too many people are taking their phones and booking it out the door and like not even having time to poop in the morning and wondering, oh, why am I anxious? I'm like irritable all day and like I don't have like I'm bloated and I didn't poop. And it's like, well, you didn't give yourself time to. Like you snoozed 6 times and then you jumped out in fight or flight, grabbed your coffee to keep those adrenals going and booked it out the door. Like, no, you need time to have a delicious morning routine. And maybe it doesn't have to be totally long, but what I was telling my gut recharge members this morning is like, if all you can do before you get out of bed is take 5 deep belly breaths to tap into your parasympathetic nervous system, then you are golden. That is one step in the right direction, and you can move forward from there because it starts in the morning. You need water, and you need to be slow to start your day. You need to, maybe you don't have time, make time. You're responsible for being an advocate in your health. And if you're so quick to just like grapple and do all these kind of things, then you're going to be missing the whole point and you're going to be stuck in this cycle. Okay. I am mindful of the time. I realize I spent a lot of time getting into this, but next is what I was talking about, the big goals and the smaller goals. So what is your biggie goal? Like you are picturing like 12 months from now, you're like, if this symptom was gone, life would be so magnetic and delicious, and I'd feel good, and I'd be banging, and I'd be going, and we'd be rocking, all that kind of stuff. So what's that big goal? What's that big goal for you? What is the big thing? If this was gone, life would freaking change. Like everything would change. Okay. Note that down, write it down, like put it somewhere. Like for me, it's my office. Like I can't wait to move and create this delicious office, which right now, guys, it is the background on my phone. So that I look at it all the time and I can break it down. Okay, so I got my big goal. Next is note down what you want to happen every month to get there. Okay, so what is your goal? What is one step in alignment of what will get you to that big goal? Okay, and that doesn't mean like restricting your foods, all that kind of stuff, but what is that roadblock, right? And then what is the goal to kind of navigate around that to help you get to that big that big goal. And then what is something you can do weekly and channel that in? Okay. I know this sounds like a lot, but this is the foundation of changing all of your habits, is understanding what's going on. Okay. And so what are the micro things? And we're going to work our way down, and then we're going to get to the daily habits. And the daily habit starts with one. And the way the body works, the way the brain works, is you have to start with one habit. So if it's just drinking water in the morning, stay with that. Stay with that until that becomes cemented in your synapses in your brain, because if you're putting too much in this beautiful thing you have, it is not going to stick. And this is why you'll see high achievers being able to have different habits, being able to pile on quicker. But if you are new to the game of habits and you keep falling off and coming back and falling off and coming back, this is why, because your brain's not cut out for that yet. So you have to give something around 90 days is what they're finding for that habit to stick. And then you can start to build on top of it in a slow pace. But until it becomes a non-negotiable in your life, it's going to keep wavering, and you have to get the foundations right first. Okay, so that's how that works. You get the big goal and you micro it down, and every single week you are doing something to achieve that. Every single month you're hitting that goal, you're writing it down, you're stepping towards it. It's a system, right? And so the last one I wanted to touch on is every Sunday, make sure you are setting up a nutrition plan. We're all freaking busy. I am so tired of hearing the excuse, oh, I don't have time for this, da, da, da. Like, then you're not going to get healthy. That's the way that's going to work. If you don't take the time, if you don't commit to yourself, if you don't respect yourself enough to take responsibility for your health, I'm sorry, like, you're just going to be stuck on this rat race, this hamster wheel, all that kind of stuff. So build out a nutrition plan for the week. Okay. So like, where is usually a roadblock at? Build a plan around that. Like for me and my clients, it's usually we start with breakfast. Lunch is usually our last one we touch on. It goes breakfast, dinner, then lunch. We work around in that order because it's usually where I see the sticky points. Like lunch is usually okay for people. They're usually out or, they're at home, but like dinner time, they're too busy. So they don't want to cook. Breakfast, they're too rushed. So slowing down and making those things a priority and working from there. But getting into a routine helps your digestion tremendously. If you are bouncing around, if you are a high achiever and you're just like missing meals, or like you're a busy mom and you're just like eating when you can, like your body is going to be stressed out. And if your body is stressing, it's not digesting. Just like when we were back children in those good old times, we had a system and a routine for each meal. We'd have breakfast, we'd have lunch, we'd have snack, we'd have dinner, we had snack, right? Keep that routine. And that's why I really, really encourage the eating within 1 hour of waking and then eating every 3 to 4 hours until bed, to keep your body, your blood sugars, your moods, all that kind of stuff stable. So this leads into my 3 non-negotiables, which is meal timings, because no matter where you are, no matter where you're traveling, no matter any of that kind of stuff, you can control your meal timings. 2, knowing what works for me. So you'll see a lot of content coming out this week around like dining out and all of that kind of stuff, because I know that's a sticky point for y'all. But knowing what works for you, and this is where the gut diary comes into play, helps you eat out, helps you have freedom, helps you know what's working. Like I know if I eat chickpeas, I'm going to be bloated. I know when I'm bloated, I'm going to focus best with work. Probably not going to eat chickpeas on a Tuesday when I am slammed with 16-hour days. Like I'm not going to do that. But your girl freaking loves hummus. So it does not mean I'm going to ditch this from my diet forever. I just know how to set my body up. I know when to eat stuff. I know when not to eat stuff. And then as my body has healed over time, these flare-ups and these symptoms, like totally manageable. Of course, bloat happens, but like I'm not missing stuff because of gas and embarrassing, stuff happening to my body. It's manageable. And the third non-negotiable is taking responsibility. I take responsibility for my stress and my anxieties and the things I bring into my life. I take responsibility for how I have responded to things in my life and how I have bypassed my health and gave it to someone else. I bypassed, diet books. Like I was never, even though I was learning nutrition and all that kind of stuff, I was still learning from the books. I wasn't learning from my body. I wasn't listening. And that's why inside of the Gut Accelerator program, it's teaching you how to tune into you. And this is why like you get your freedom back. So ultimately, like you have the energy, you have that joy, you have like, you're able to go to social interactions and show up in your most authentic self because you know who you are. because you took responsibility. And that's the gift of life. That is how you control IBS is, you're going to go out to eat, you're going to eat a certain way, weekends are not good for you, so you adapt it in this way, certain foods don't work for you, so you adapt it in this way. And it's not always winning. Like, some choices I make for my diet aren't always the best. Like, I'm not perfect, but I know what's going to happen after. And I chose to do those things because I like Mediterranean food. I like, hummus. I like Indian food. I like things that might cause me flare-ups from time to time. And that's just it. Like, it doesn't leave me crippled in bed, but I take responsibility because that's what I wanted to do. And as a result, I'm able to enjoy life again. And that's the same thing with my client Kate that I was on the phone with earlier today. It's just like, she's able to enjoy herself again, and not so much she's been able to add back in carbs. She's been able to add back, like, she's focused. She knows what her nutrition choices need to be so she can amplify her health. And so we set together these goals and these routines and these systems. And so now, from a woman that couldn't even get out of bed to play with her kids, she's out running in the morning. And it's only been 3 weeks. She's out running in the morning. She has the energy to apply herself at work and still have energy to come home and play with their kids. Like, that's what you get when you understand how systems work and how taking the right steps in the right order at the right time has the most impactful change. So to recap it all, take responsibility, right? Like, you're not at fault for being ill, but you are responsible for how you choose to respond and the actions you take to achieve that big audacious goal that you want at the end of the year. Like, come December and you're thinking of like, oh, if this one thing was gone, my life would be magnetic. And then work your way backwards on how to get there. Set it up, put pen to paper. Like, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 journals around me right now. Like, okay, I'm a little bit extra, but like at least one. Take some time to really reflect, like, okay, so what is my roadblock and how do I overcome that? What do I need? Who do I need to link arms with so that I can achieve sustainable success? Who really resonates with me, right? Getting that in place and then working your way to daily habits to achieve that. And make sure you're focusing on the routines, like the meal timings and things that you can handle, because no matter, you're going to travel when things open up. They're starting to. You're going to eat out. You are going to, have life happen, because it does, but you can control this one aspect of yourself. So really take responsibility for that. Know what works for you. And if you don't know what works for you, make sure you just like shoot me a DM below of Gut Diary, and I'll shoot you the link for that downloadable, and you can understand what foods are working for you, not from like a food sensitivity kit bullshit kind of thing, but like from an actual foundational approach, so that you can start taking responsibility of how you respond to that and what you're adding into your nutrition routine and what you're taking out. And last one is just, again, touching on taking responsibility. So if any of this resonated with you and you are ready, you're just like, I am so tired of the things that I've been feeling or seeing, and like low FODMAP and these medications, it's just like, I don't want to do it anymore, then make sure you do jump in and grab a spot for the Gut Accelerator program. I only have 2 open for spring. And so if that is you, if that is someone that is, you've been struggling with IBS for years and you are just like, I'm ready, I'm done with the naturopaths and the functional doctors, and like it's been manageable, but like there's got to be something more. This is your invitation, my dear. So make sure you head over to healinghappy.com/roadmap call, and I will reach out to you. We'll set up a time and we'll jump on a call and make sure it's a good fit. So have a happy March, my dears. We are coming into spring. Things are opening up. There are birds chirping outside my window right now, and I get to spend my Tuesday with you, beautiful humans. So I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you next Tuesday.